preparing the cups for planting of the seedlings. So there we have the Cocopeat.
And one quick question. You're involving the children from TAFI,
yes,
right?
We always do it as a family.
Okay.
As you can see, I came with my family, and also I came to the TAFI family. So we all do it together.
Excellent.
And it's good you're teaching your children how to love the situation. It's a very kind of
So this is the first process?
Yes, this is the first process. Of course, the first process is preparing of the Cocopeat,
Okay.
which has been soaking for the last 4 hours.
What is this?
That is Cocopeat. It's coconut husks that have been crushed.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay. Coconut husk.
The kids look excited.
The exciting. Tanya, weka.
So, Margaret, involving the kids in physical activities helps them, yeah?
It helps them in social interaction. They're able to live with other people. They also feel free to do whatever. Like she's giving me this. That is my daughter, Tanya. So they feel loved when you involve them in what you're doing. And then you also make them, you give them fine motor skills, their fingers, filling up this, holding them. Yeah.
And in terms of how they comprehend when you're teaching them a new skill, how fast is it?
Some are so fast. Some of them are quite fast. Like I'm sure by Monday, they are shown what to do. They will do perfectly what is expected of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it remains in their minds?
Fun?
The skill remains in their minds?
They have good memory. Yeah. Tanya, Weka, that is my daughter, Mumbi. That's Tanya. Tanya, Shiga. Fill up. The kids are so excited. You see the way they're happy?
Come with put Tanya.
Nelly, you are happy?
So if you get further donors, you can expand to more activities
We can
for the
actually
kids.
expand. We can buy all this area here. We expand TAFI to host more kids and do this at vocational. Hydroponic. It's very expensive to buy groceries from the market, but with this now we're harvesting our own. They are going to get their own nutrients, knowing where they are coming from.
So all the activities you're doing is because you're trying to be self-sustaining and economical.
And to make a dime for the organization. Yeah. We are,
So-
we are also going to involve the mothers who are here today.
Excellent.
They can come, sell, and
Cap-
give us a small portion.
So you're also doing capacity building.
We are doing capacity building at TAFI. It's for the kids and people, mothers, people with disability, and the well-wishers. They are all open.
Okay. So you're not about charity, you're about self-sustainability.
Self-sustainability, yeah. If you bring your child here, they must pay school fees because of training on ADLs, vocational offered, the classes, they go to classes, some of them. Yeah. Jerry. So you know how to do this, eh? Mombi. Daddy akiwaguka kabisa wewe ndio utafanya hii.
every time we are doing the children home or children
You are with
visits,
them.
we do it as a
are
family.
doing
We
them
don't
very
involve
well.
our employees. We do it as a family so that they can also get an opportunity to interact with the less fortunate.
Wow.
So we always do this as a family.
Very good.
And where do you get the cups? Do you buy them or do you get
Cups are in
recycled?
the supermarket.
Also you
Oh, they're
just
the
buy
same
them?
cups we use, but you have it.
Party cups we
But
use.
you added by.
No. We just make holes, the same ones. It's because there are special cups for
Hydroponic.
hydroponic. Unfortunately, most of them are made
Smile.
in Europe and China, but the method they use is different from us. So you find, for us we use Cocopeat. For them they use foam, so their holes are very big. if we use them on our hydroponics, then all the cocopeat will be carried away by water.
Ah.
Yeah, so that is why we decided to.
So the aperture matters. The size of the aperture matters.
Yes,
Huh?
it matters, so that the cocopeat is not carried away.
And does it matter for different
Tanya,
plants?
weka hapa.
It doesn't matter.
What crops can be grown in this? What crops can be grown in this?
Patrick, he's asking what crops you can grow on these.
All
Strawberries,
all leafy vegetables like spinach,
spring onions,
spring onions,
spinach.
strawberry, radish,
Ah,
capsicum, tomatoes.
the way I love.
All vegetables that don't have deep roots or don't grow very tall.
Okay.
But then if, like, for instance, you find tomatoes grow tall, they need support. So we usually change the structure of these things. So we have, like, for instance, mostly we use the H structure for climbers, tomatoes, capsicum, and all that. But for indoor, we usually use this system because of space utilization. But then we also have the other H structure that spreads down. Then you deck it like 3, maximum 4 times, so that you provide the space for stringing the crop.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So we use different structures for the different crops. Yeah.
But how long have you done this? And is it and the other things you also do? Innovatively?
Innovatively, primarily I'm an IT. My background is IT. I've worked. I started working. My first job, I started working in Israel. So that is where I started interacting with hydroponics, because I'm an expert in enterprise resource systems, the big softwares for agricultural farms. So that is where I started interacting with hydroponics. Then when I came to Kenya, I came and started working with the Syrian, who are then they were the biggest fresh cut flower producers. And they were growing all their crop, 25,000 hectares, on hydroponics only.
Greenhouses.
Yes.
25,000.
Yes.
And the way this takes very little space.
This is
So that is extremely
this
a
is
lot.
a system for small spaces and for
Okay.
homes, and but the system they use is what I was telling you, the H frame, which
Okay.
you layer them in a wide area. So you layer about 2 or 3 times
Okay.
going up. So you give them, because flowers grow tall. But then they also don't use the cups. They use the flat system. They use the drip system. Okay. So they put the cocopeat or pumice inside the traps, and then they run the drip lines inside the pipe. So the flowers are actually growing directly, not inside cups, but inside the trap. Yes.
And what
And they
about?
look better.
Sorry.
They look
Yes.
better than the rest.
Oh, at the auction, when Osirian flowers lands at the auction,
Everything stops.
everything stops. Everybody wants to buy those because the flowers, the petals are big,
They are
the leaves
brighter.
are also big, the stems are also big. And then you see Osirian used to grow because at times at night when it is very cold, flowers are not able to bloom. So what happens is that for them, you find most people, if you drive along Nairobi Nakuru highway on the flower farms, you see a lot of bulbs in farms. They're trying to keep the flowers warm. Now, because of Osirian's proximity to Kengen, the Olkaria,
yes.
geothermal,
Yeah.
what they did is that because they had a geothermal geyser within their farm, they piped that hot air into the greenhouses, all the greenhouses. So at night, the place is very warm. So the flowers, you actually leave a flower that is completely closed in the evening, in the morning is fully open,
Wow.
ready. So it's like they are constantly harvesting
And making a lot of
on a
money.
daily basis. So they moved from 3 trucks, when they started using that system, from 3 trucks a day to 9 trucks.
And a flower is 50 bob.
Yes.
Wow.
And what about plant diseases?
Now, if you look at the setup here, what we've done is that this is a special environment. That environment is controlled. One, there are no insects flying in there. There are no crops. We're gonna have Samson clean up that whole place. Is gonna be very clean. And because of that, and of course we've started on a medium that is already sterilized, so there are no diseases inside there. So we completely grow a plant that has not interacted with chemicals at all. Because even the fertilizer that we recommend is organic.
So in other words, if people can do this, they can stop FGM.
Exactly.